Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I want to talk about how do I stay motivated. The way I stay motivated is I have a lot of motivating factors that keeps me motivated, but one of my primary reasons are two of them, which is my disability. My disability and my mother. My disability is by far one of my biggest motivators because my disability is progressive. So by my disability being progressive, I am on a clock. Like, meaning I only have so much time to do something, create something, before eventually I will wake up and I no longer will have that opportunity to do so. So my disability, when it progresses, it just makes me want to do more, do as much as I can while I still can. And it's not so much that I am pessimistic about, where I am headed or what the future holds for me. It's just that I understand the progression of SMA more so because of my past life experiences. Like, there was a point in my life where I was able to push myself in a manual wheelchair because I had the strength to do so, to a point where I no longer have the strength to do it anymore, where I needed to utilize a powerized wheelchair. Now, my neck support is becoming a little bit challenging here and there. Feeding myself is becoming a little bit challenging here and there. Picking up my phone is becoming a little bit challenging here and there. I remember when I was able to pick up my phone and hold it against my ear, talking to someone. To now, everyone I speak to has to be on speaker because I can't hold my phone against my ear anymore. Or I have to connect my earphones. Depending on the conversation and the person I'm talking to will of course determine if I will put you on speaker or if I will utilize my AirPods for privacy reasons, But my disability is one of my biggest motivators. And as much as, some people can think like, although, none of us know when our time is up or if we will be here tomorrow, you can have that thought. But at least subconsciously, you have that belief, oh, I have tomorrow. Me? Do I? Right? That's like my mentality. That's like my disability is literally my biggest motivator. I don't know what tomorrow holds. I let me rephrase that. I know what tomorrow holds, which is why I am implementing the work and doing what I am doing now. So that way, when tomorrow comes, I'm prepared for it. It's not much of a surprise. And two, one of my other biggest motivators is my mother. Like my mother had a hard life. My grandmother had an extremely hard, difficult life. And then my mom had a hard life. And I just want to be able to do something, create something, to not just, I want my mom to have the mentality. I cannot speak with everyone for a disability. I want to mention that first and foremost because that's really important. We all have, just because someone's in a wheelchair doesn't mean they all experience the same things. We all have different situations, different disabilities, different opportunities than others. I want to mention that really quick. But my mother is my biggest motivator because I want my mom to have, like, how can I word this? I want my mom to have I want to create the opportunity for my mom that when my time is up, meaning, God calls me home, right? I want to create myself the opportunity where when my time is up, my mom is taken care of. Like, bills are paid, house is paid for. I don't want my mom to ever have to think about how is she going to pay the next bill. I don't want that. I am given opportunities to understand technology, understand the future of AI, understand opportunities to create something, right? For example, I'm creating a brand, I'm creating a website, I'm creating a reputation, I'm creating things, right? And there's so many things I have yet to announce that I won't share yet. Not because I just feel like when I make the announcement, it's gonna be like, wow, I didn't know he was working on that, or I didn't know he did that, or he was doing that. I just feel like the emotion behind it is going to have a much more significant astonishment meaning behind it when I announce that. But my mom's too my biggest motivator as well. And it's even goes bigger beyond that as well. I personally am a family man, so I want to create something in such a magnitude way where, again, when my time is up, or even if I am still here, my mom is taken care of. My tias are taken care of. My aunts, because they too are getting older. And I personally just cannot, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but for me, I just personally cannot see, like my mom or my aunts going into a home. I can't see that. Like what I envision is, I have never shared it publicly, but what I envision is when mom gets older, she doesn't know what a price tag is. My aunts, my tias, I want to put myself in a magnitude position financially, excuse me, where they too don't have to worry about a price tag. Like everything's covered and taken care of for. And if anyone sees this now, they're going to be like, oh, right? But, later it's going to be like, wow, like he wasn't kidding, I don't share too much about my aspirations in that aspect, just because I feel like someone in my position is a little bit delusional. But you have to factor in today's opportunities and one's drive as well. You have to factor in a lot of different stuff. Anyhow, I know I mentioned like my mom and my tias, taking care of them, and I didn't mention my siblings. Now keep in mind, my siblings are young, so they're doing things. They're doing things themselves, But of course, they too will be taken care of. Like like my mom, my tias, my siblings, of course, right? My family. I want, like, the more I get older, I just see, like, my grandma just passed, so I see a lot of us kind of like, I don't want to say drifting, but beginning to do our own things. And I want to be able to be that one that keeps us together. Like that's what my grandma did. She kept us together. And like she was the one who, would bring people together, and not just that, but people would be like, you know what, I haven't seen grandma, in so long. Let me stop and pay her a visit, especially if they are from out of town, right? And I want to be that individual that like keeps my grandma's legacy going, keeping what she had built, right, and created. I want to keep it going, meaning, having family dinners, family barbecues, going to the lake, things like that, and I just want to keep it going. And right now everything's going good with it, but I see certain things based off of like behaviors, I guess you could say, and I just want to kind of like preserve it or keep it going. I don't know. That's just me. But I know this video is a bit more nonchalant, and I'm saying a lot. Excuse me. Yeah. How do you stay motivated? My disability. I'm finding ways to, get out of my comfort zone and share more than I usually used to. Yeah. But how do you stay motivated? Definitely my disability. My disability is progressive. I hold in my emotions a lot about it, but deep down, it's I just hope I can create something. Not just anything, but I want to create something that lasts. Not just for those around me, but like generations. Doing something to that magnitude is not easy, especially in someone in my position where time is limited, disability is progressive, so the opportunities you have presently are slowly slipping away, right? I just want to create something that lasts. Is it possible? Extremely. Has anyone done it to the extent I aspire? Up to my knowledge, no one has, which even makes it more difficult. But I want to set that bar higher, like I want to set the bar high enough where whether you have a disability or not, it's like, whoa, like what are my excuses? Why am I sitting here and complaining about my life? When like he, has a life to complain about. He's not, and he is doing XYZ. And I'm not saying I have it worse than others. I want to clarify that. But, I do definitely I am aware. Yes, obviously my life is a little bit more challenging than most, right? But there is definitely other people that have it far worse than I do. And which is why I said every disability is different. We all go through our own unique set of challenges and obstacles, right? And I just really want to set the bar high enough. And I hope that the work I do, and I'm really, really pushing, I have been pushing myself these past 5 years since I started the journey of this YouTube channel, or the journey of my brand. I've really, really been pushing myself. There has not been a day that I have not thought about my dream or my aspirations. There has not been a day or a second where, I have not thought about what's next. Meaning, what do I have to do next? What can I improve on? What do I need to work on? What should I look into? What should I learn more? Like, there's so many things and movable factors within my mind that, I am constantly pushing myself. On the days when, I'm not doing too good and things are not going so great, I still show up for myself. A lot of people don't see that behind the scenes, and just because I may be, say, outdoors enjoying the sun or even taking some downtime to stretch and watch a movie or whatever, right? Like, I'm constantly thinking, like, I could be watching a movie literally, and you can ask me like, oh, what did they say? Because you happen to miss whatever they were saying in the movie. And I can't tell you. 9 out of 10 times, I won't be able to tell you. Why? Because my mind is elsewhere. Not in a bad way, it's in a good way. Like, I'm just constantly focused on, what do I got to work on? What do I got to do? What's next? Okay, after I do X, then how can I do Y? And after I do Y, then how can I do Z? Like, my mind is always on like the steps after and how I can learn, improve, work on, learn, study even, become mindful. What am I doing, right? What am I thinking? Why am I thinking X, Y, Z? Where is this emotion coming from? Like, I cannot explain how my mind works. But my disability is progressive, so it really keeps me driven. My mom too keeps me driven. I just really want to create something. And back to what I was saying is, this year I have been pushing myself ever since I started this brand, right? And there has been numerous days when I didn't want to do anything at all, but I still am doing something. And like, nobody really sees that, like, I'm here in the room creating content, right? But there's so much that goes on behind the scenes. There's the idea behind the video, talking about the video. How do I feel during the day while I make the video? Is it a good day where, my energy is high? Or is it a bad day, where I'm being a little bit challenged? Is it an ugly day where maybe I just got done seeing or experiencing something, that's an ugly experience, and I still picked the phone and created content, right? Or wrote something on my blog or something. As at the time of this recording, I haven't touched a blog post in, I think, almost a year. There's a reason behind that, but yeah, there's just so much that goes on behind the scenes. So how do I stay motivated? My disability is progressive. My mom, family, trying to create something that lasts. And back to what I was saying earlier is, I just hope that this year I really do create something where my efforts really do begin to bear fruit. Yeah. So this video, what I want you to take away from this video is what motivates you. And I want you to know that motivation will not always, you cannot solely just rely on motivation, because you are not always going to feel motivated. You have to find the discipline that regardless of how you feel, you still show up and you continue to put in the work that you may not want to do. And you get it done anyways. That is how you build something. Is when you show up for yourself, even on the days when you don't want to, or even on the days you may feel like you want to quit, or even on the days when you may feel like nothing is ever working, or maybe this isn't for you. Maybe your dream isn't for you. I want you to know that there is a reason why God instilled that vision for you. It's not supposed to be easy. But God instilled a vision that only you can see, because He knows you are the only one that can do it. When you are that breed where poverty ends with you, heartache ends with you, financial struggles ends with you, when all of these past generational patterns have continued for generations after generations after generations, and you have this vision that you can look to your mom and say, don't worry about it, it's taken care of. You buy her dream home. You buy her dream car. Every single bill that comes across the table is paid for. You don't see past due anymore. You don't see You don't see your mom in tears anymore, right, about financial issues, or that stress of financial problems no longer exist. You can envision that. You can see that. It's because God knows that you are the one to break these generational patterns. And you have to find a way to begin to take one step at a time. Build your dream brick by brick, building a foundation so strong that although what lies ahead is not going to be easy, it is possible. And the very things you are going through today, the good, the bad, and the ugly, more so the bad and the ugly, your foundation will be built upon something so strong that in the moment you may not have realized why you were going through it. But there will come a time within the near future when you reach what you may claim as success, meaning you made it. Your foundation will be so strong that no obstacle, no enemy will even come close to tearing it down. Why? because God not only instilled within you a vision to become the individual, to break these generational patterns, but God has shown you many reasons why you are destined to be in the very position you are in, which is a position to help others, a position to liberate pain, weight, struggle off of not only your life, but on the lives of those around you. I believe you are no accident. I believe that every individual who can relate to what I am talking about will understand something and discover something within themselves. And I hope that those people who are going through this life and they feel like their light within is dimming. I know what that's like. But I want you to know, just imagine and focus on the what if. What if this really does work out? And hold on to that thought. Keep the faith within the process. And most importantly, continue to learn from your mistakes. Continue to learn, because it is information that will help you through what it is you are going through. So pick up that book, study that course, and learn from those people who not only share how to get through XYZ, but share their story, what they have learned, that has ultimately helped them get through XYZ. Those are the people you need to begin to learn from. Have compassion for those around you. Have grace for every person that you encounter. And forgive yourself for what you didn't know, for you know now. I love you. I appreciate you. Please let me know down below, what do I need to work on within my content? What do you think I need to work on? It's been quite a process these past several months, to say the least. And, I am doing what you do. Learning as I go, putting one foot in front of the other, and keeping the faith that that vision I have, I am holding on to. What if it really does work out? In a few years, who knows, maybe I will come across this video and be astonished about, not so much about the dream I envisioned, but how much more God had planned for me. Because although there is your plan, God's plan is always bigger. And although we may not understand the process, it always leads us right where we need to be. That's what the journey is about. It is not about the destination. It is about the journey. Much love.